What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NY Prepper. It is Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, and I have another emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 9:07 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and I have some major breaking news to report to you coming from the Middle East and also from Asia. So, if you watched my updates earlier today, I mentioned that China was moving ballistic missiles, and I showed a video of some ballistic missiles on a train. And now we have some videos coming out of Taiwan, and apparently Taiwan is doing a red team, blue team exercise. And if you don't know what that is, that's basically a good guy versus bad guy scenario. And so you have one guy is playing the invading force and the other guy is playing the defender. And so they're doing one brigade versus the other brigade, one being the invader, one being the defender. And you can literally see here a Taiwan tank rolling down the streets in Taiwan somewhere. The name of the city, I forget the name of it. It starts with a K. But this is serious, guys. Okay, look at this. Okay, imagine you were going to work and you saw a tank going down the road right next to you. Okay, this is pretty serious. All right, and this was in the city of Kaohsiung. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but look at this. This is insane. Okay, so China's moving ballistic missiles, and now Taiwan is doing exercises in the streets, a red team, blue team exercise, good guy versus bad guy. So get prepared, guys. Things are about to get crazy. I really believe that World War III and nuclear war is imminent, especially World War III. And we have the location of the USS Dwight Eisenhower. Apparently, it's right near the Azores, so it's getting close to the area of operations, the Eastern Med. And we know that it's near the Azores because this plane here, which is a special plane used for resupplying aircraft carriers, was tracked on Flight Tracker near the Azores. So that's how we know that the Dwight Eisenhower is somewhere near the Azores. Okay, so it's about halfway there. Okay, so it'll be a couple more days before it gets into the Mediterranean, assuming that it's going to be going to the Mediterranean. It may go to the Persian Gulf area. It may come around Africa and end up in the Arabian Sea, okay, off the coast of the Arabian Peninsula, so it's closer to Iran. But this is its current location, okay, and we have some concerning information coming out this evening that U.S. Central Command has announced the arrival of the 119th Expeditionary Fighter Squadron. And so this Expeditionary Fighter Squadron has F-16s, and they just landed in Jordan, and they're there for possible major military escalation with Iran and Hezbollah. Okay, so fighter jets, extra fighter jets arriving in Jordan. And apparently, 11 Patriot missile systems are going to be going to the Middle East. They're going to be going to Kuwait, Jordan, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE. Okay, and they're coming from Fort Liberty, North Carolina, and Fort Sill, Oklahoma. 11 Patriot missile systems, guys. 11. And then one THAAD system, at least one THAAD system. Now, the THAAD system is different than the Patriot system in that the THAAD system is for shooting ballistic missiles. Okay, it has a longer range and it travels faster than the Patriot missiles do. But we've seen in Ukraine how effective the Patriot missiles are. The Patriot missiles were able to intercept Russian hypersonic missiles when Russia fired a bunch of hypersonic missiles at the Patriot system to try to destroy it. The Patriot system intercepted and destroyed the hypersonic missiles. Okay, so 11 Patriot missile systems, 11. Okay, that is insane, guys. Okay, Ukraine, I believe they only have one right now. They might have two. Poland has, I think, two or three. And they're going to be moving 11 into the Middle East. Okay, so they're expecting all out war in the Middle East. If they're moving 11 Patriot missile systems, a THAAD system, and they also have an Aegis warship there, which is a missile interceptor warship. Okay, all those air defenses, they're moving all of that into the Middle East. You don't do that for some terrorists that are hiding underground in tunnels, okay? That's not what these air defenses are for. They're not for Hamas. They're not even for Hezbollah. They're for Iran, okay? And the Iranian militias that have ballistic missiles, the Houthi rebels, and all the other ones. They're concerned that there's going to be attacks on American bases in various Middle Eastern countries. They're expecting an all out war. They're expecting total chaos, okay? NBC News has gotten information from U.S. Central Command that apparently 20 U.S. military personnel were wounded last week in a series of drone attacks on U.S. bases in Iraq and Syria. 20 U.S. military personnel, guys, 20. Okay, they kept it secret from us. They just told us now. So how can we trust anything they say? Okay, they're just telling us now that only 20 were injured, and how serious those injuries are, we have no idea. Okay, but we're not moving all those assets into the region for nothing. Okay, so I think we're getting ready to do a massive preemptive strike on Iran, on Hezbollah, on all the Iranian militias. I think that's what's going to happen here. I think we're going to see a massive preemptive strike coordinated with Israel and the U.S. Okay, so this is very, very concerning, guys. Okay, and apparently another U.S. base was attacked tonight. This base was in Karab al-Jir in the countryside of al-Yarubiyah near the border with Iraq. This was in Syria. Iranian-backed militants attacked another U.S. base tonight. And we have the White House spokesman, John Kirby, saying today that this is war, this is conflict, it's bloody, it's ugly, and it's going to be messy, and innocent civilians will be harmed in the coming period. Okay, that is really, really ominous and chilling. Okay, let me read that to you again. This is war. This is conflict. It's bloody. It's ugly. It's going to be messy, and innocent civilians will be harmed in the coming period. Okay, so they're not talking about a quick operation here. They're talking about a long period. Okay, innocent civilians will be harmed. 2 rockets fell in the southern Golan Heights earlier today near the Syrian border, and it was reported that Iranian-backed militants fired the rockets from southern Syria. Okay, the Golan Heights are in Israel. Okay, and the Israeli army responded by shelling the southern part of Syria with artillery. Okay, so now Israel is getting attacked on 3 fronts. Okay, they have Hamas, they have Hezbollah in Lebanon. They've been fighting against Hezbollah like on a daily basis. They're trading artillery and anti-tank missiles and all kinds of stuff, small arms. Now they're getting attacked from the Syria direction. Okay, the Iranian militias are in Syria and they're firing at Israel. You remember a couple of days ago when I showed you those busloads of jihadists that were being sent to southern Syria from Iraq and Iran? Well, guess what? It looks like they're already there and they're going to start attacking Israel now from southern Syria. So now Israel's going to have to attack Syria. They're going to have to attack Lebanon. They're going to have to attack Gaza. And then they're going to have to attack Iran, maybe Egypt. I mean, all these countries are just going after Israel, guys. And, Russia has bases in Syria. Okay. And this is what could bring Russia into the war. And this is why this could potentially turn into the Ezekiel 38-39 attack on Israel. Is if, let's say, Israel bombs a Russian airbase because they find out that the Iranian-backed militias are using the Russian airbase to resupply and move equipment into Syria. And then from there, they're launching attacks onto Israeli territory. What if Israel craters the runways on that Russian base? And then that's when Russia would get involved, and that's the biblical prophecy where God puts hooks in the jaws of Magog and brings him down from the far north into Israel. I want to read to you also what Vladimir Putin said. Russian President Vladimir Putin expressed fears of a sharp deterioration of the situation in besieged Gaza during a call with his Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the Kremlin said Tuesday. The leaders expressed deep concern over the growing number of civilian casualties and the catastrophic deterioration of the humanitarian situation in the Gaza Strip, the Kremlin said. Putin and Erdogan also discussed the unacceptable strikes by Israel on residential neighborhoods and religious sites, according to the statement. They said the positions of Russia and Turkey are practically coinciding and that they're focusing on a two-state solution. Okay, so Russia and Turkey are on the same page when it comes to this conflict. They're siding with Gaza, they're siding with the enemies of Israel. And this is going right back to Bible prophecy, guys. The Bible says all these Middle Eastern countries are going to form an alliance against Israel: Russia, Turkey, Iran, Syria, Northern Africa. It's all listed in the Bible, guys. Okay, Turkey is listed by name. Russia is listed by name. Iran is listed by name. Okay, Sudan is listed by name. Libya is listed by name. All these countries are listed by name in the Bible, and the Bible says that they're all going to form an alliance and go after Israel. So I don't know if this is that situation. I have no idea. I'm just, thinking out loud here. Okay, I'm not saying that this is Ezekiel 38 and 39. I have no idea. I'm just thinking out loud, putting it out there, and we'll see what happens. Ultimately, time will tell if this is Ezekiel 38 and 39 or not. So, very concerning stuff, guys. Okay, Putin and Erdogan on the same page here, on the same side. Guys, Putin and Erdogan, they don't like each other, okay? Erdogan has stabbed Putin in the back many times, especially during the Ukraine war. Putin was really mad at Erdogan because Erdogan was giving the Bayraktar TB2 drones to Ukraine, and Turkey was giving Ukraine all kinds of equipment to fight against Russian forces. And also, Turkey was escorting the grain shipments into Odessa. Okay, Turkey was using its military to escort the grain shipments from Ukraine to Africa after the Black Sea grain deal collapsed. Okay, Turkey was escorting these ships. So Putin is not exactly fond of Erdogan, and for them to get on the phone and talk and be on the same page, I mean, that's huge right there. Okay, that is absolutely huge. And we currently have two nuclear war command and control planes up in the air. These are the Boeing E-6B Mercury TACAMO planes, and one went out into the Atlantic and one was down in the Gulf. And we have potentially a missile test underway. We have two Missile Defense Agency planes airborne just west of Hawaii. So very, very interesting. And we also have this Saudi Arabian Air Force plane. This is a Lockheed Martin C-130, and they're evacuating their diplomats from Beirut because they're expecting all-out war in Lebanon. Okay, when this war kicks off, guys, Lebanon is going to be bombed like crazy. They're going to bomb Beirut. They're going to bomb all these different cities in Lebanon. It's going to be crazy, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to be like something we haven't seen in our lifetime when this war kicks off. Okay, it's going to be bigger than Ukraine, bigger than the Middle East wars in the last 20 years. This is going to be a massive uh, aerial bombardment of various countries with potentially ballistic missiles and even nuclear warheads being used. Okay, this is going to be like something we haven't seen in our lifetime. Okay, this is very, very serious what's going on. And here we have a picture showing the range of American Tomahawk missiles and the locations of U.S. Navy warships. And what you can see here is that basically the U.S. has positioned its warships so that they have overlapping fields of fire over Iran. So they have some assets in the Persian Gulf, in the Arabian Sea, and then they have some assets in the Red Sea, and then they have assets in the Eastern Med. And all of these warships have overlapping fields of fire over Iran. Okay, they can cover Iran from any angle. At first, so continuing on with the news, the Israeli army was shelling southern Syria for the first time since this whole thing started. Okay, we have U.S. and coalition forces in Iraq having been attacked at least 10 times in the last 7 days. Okay, in the last 7 days, U.S. and coalition forces have been attacked 10 times. Okay, in Iraq and 3 times in Syria. This is coming from the Pentagon. Militias affiliated with Iran threatened to bomb U.S. bases in Kuwait and the UAE. And the Israeli Air Force has been dropping leaflets over Gaza, asking residents of Gaza to share information about where hostages could be located, and they're promising fair treatment in return and possibly financial rewards. We have the Houthi rebels in Yemen launching an attack against Saudi military positions today in Jabal al-Dud. And I couldn't verify this 100%, but apparently the Houthis have launched an attack against Saudi military positions today. 1,200 members of the Iraqi Hadran Brigade militia are now gathered in the Al-Kiswa area in western Damascus in Syria, and they are being transported in groups to areas near the Golan in the western Damascus direction and the Quneitra countryside. Okay, so 1,200 members of an Iraqi anti-Israeli brigade, okay, the Iraqi Hadran Brigade, 1,200 of them are now in the western Damascus countryside, okay? Apparently, Iranian missile forces are now on high alert, and I showed you guys some of the video footage of that. And so there was more activity along the Lebanese-Israeli border today. There was an air raid alert in the outskirts of Ramesh, and an Israeli drone fired a missile towards the outskirts of the town of Kfar Shuba, and Hezbollah attacked the Israeli army's Pranit barracks with an anti-tank guided missile and artillery shells. Hezbollah attacked the Kirbit al-Marana or al-Manara site this afternoon with rockets and artillery. And here we have a picture showing a statement that was put out by the Islamic Resistance of Iraq, and they're claiming responsibility for attacking another U.S. airbase today. This was the Al-Assad Air Base. Okay, so they attacked it again. You can use Google Lens to translate this, but basically what it says is that this evening, the Mujahideen of the Islamic Resistance in Iraq targeted the American occupation base in western Iraq on al-Assad with a missile salvo directly hitting its targets. So they're claiming responsibility for yet another attack on an American base, okay, today. And here we have a video showing some air raid sirens in Israel. This is near the border of Lebanon. So let me just play this for you. So pretty scary stuff, guys. I think we're on the eve of all-out war in the Middle East, okay? Please get yourselves ready. Finalize your preps now before there's any kind of shortages, because once the general masses figure out what's going on, they're going to panic buy. Okay, just think about the ammo shortage 2 years ago when the pandemic started. You couldn't find ammo, you couldn't find any freeze-dried food. I mean, everything was out. So it could be like that again if this war breaks out and there's an all-out war. Okay, So that's pretty much it for this update, guys. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell icon so you get notified when I post these emergency alerts and when I go live. And when this war does kick off, which I think is going to be any day now, I will go live as much as possible 24/7. I will do constant live coverage when this kicks off because I think this is going to be historic. I think this is going to be the biggest conflict we've seen probably since World War II when it does kick off. And, as long as the internet works, as long as we have electricity, I will be covering this whole situation with multiple updates a day. So make sure you're getting notifications. And other than that, I'll keep you updated. I'll do more updates tomorrow. So take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.